Hey guys, Sheehan here, and today I'm going to talk about something a little different on this channel. Today I'm going to talk about my top 5 characters that I feel deserve to be in Super Smash Bros. For the Nintendo Switch. You know that one thing that got announced that nobody's talking about? Yeah, that thing. Alright, so I'm going to talk about mostly first party characters that I think deserve to be in Smash Bros. Because when it comes to third party, I'm actually, I think, in the unpopular opinion about everything, and that I don't think we need to focus on third-party characters that should be included because, I mean, when would end, you know? There's so many third-party characters we can choose from. So I like to focus mostly on the first-party characters that have been in the shadows or have not had their time to shine in a long time, or have just been, you know, new characters that have been introduced that would make a really good impact on the series or deserve to be in the series due to their new game. Okay, so number 5 on the list is Bandana D. Bandana D is a character who has been in many Kirby games, and he is, you know, like a normal Waddle Dee, except who would have guessed he has a bandana on his head, and he also holds a really cool spear. Now, usually when people talk about Bandana D being in Smash, I usually just roll my eyes and say whatever, you know, this is some crazy people wanting some crazy characters in the Super Smash Bros. Game. It's another Ridley person, but the reason why I'm now on the side of putting Bandana D in Smash is because most characters, if not all characters in Smash Bros. Who use weapons, always use swords. In fact, one of the few characters who doesn't use a sword, Pit, actually turns his bow and arrow into two swords. So I think it's time that we see another kind of weapon being used. Now, you could argue that Corrin uses a lance and that's kind of like a spear, but I'm pretty sure that he only uses it for like a forward smash, and that's the only time he really uses it as a lance. Oh, and his side B, of course, the dragon kick that everybody loves. But we haven't really seen a spear be used in a main source of combat type situation. And when it comes to talking about Bandana D's moveset, I don't think it even requires much thought. His aerials would be a lot more like Corrin's. His forward smash and most of his smash attacks could be also just like Corrin, and his neutral B could be like, you know, when in Breath of the Wild when you're using Link and you charge up a spear attack and you know, jab jab jab, that could be his neutral B. His side B could be a Dragon Lance type thing. His down B could be, well, I don't know what his down B could be. It could be a counter of sorts. My point is, Bandana D is a character who's been in the shadows for a little bit too long, and he's always been there to help someone out. Yeah, pretty sure he hasn't always been on Kirby's side. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure there was a game where he was on King Dedede's side. But anyway, he's a spear character, and spear characters are something I've always wanted to be in Smash, and not in the form of a Fire Emblem character, because honestly, Fire Emblem characters are getting a little hectic. And I know I mentioned a lot about Bandana D's moveset basically being a copy of Corrin, but can we all honestly say we want Corrin back in Smash anyway? I don't see why we can't, you know, take Corrin out, maybe put in a newer, fresher Fire Emblem character or just someone else, and then give Bandana D some of those moves, because honestly, I think Bandana D would, you know, be a really good fit to be along there with Kirby, Meta Knight, King Dedede, and Bandana D. I mean, How is making it, right? Kirby's like their baby, why not? Number 4, Decidueye. So Decidueye is kind of something I threw in there mostly because we all know they're going to bring in a new Pokemon character, and we're all thinking who it could be, and I'm hoping it's going to be someone for Pokemon Switch, and I'm hoping Pokemon Switch is a whole new region entirely, but you never know. In the case that it's not, I think Decidueye is a perfect fit, because he could be a long-range bow and arrow kind of person, and we've already seen what he can do in Tekken. Wait. Oh yeah. Pokken, so his move list is already there for us to go in and copy and paste. I think the only thing stopping us at this point with Decidueye is just finding out which other character is right for the job. But honestly, not much come to mind if you really think about it. I mean, they passed up Zoroark and put Lucario in there anyway, so, you know, I don't know, man. Number 3, Impa. Okay, now when it comes to Impa, Impa's actually the character that I've wanted to be in Smash ever since I found out that Sheik and Zelda were going to be separated. I'll probably make a top 5 characters I don't want in Smash, depending on how well or how bad this one goes, I guess. Now, why do I think Impa deserves to be in Smash? Well, honestly, not to bash all the people who love Sheik, but I feel like with Zelda and Sheik being separated, which I know wasn't the fault of anybody besides the 3DS, we still have to take Smash 4 for what it was, in that Zelda and Sheik were separated. And honestly, I don't see us going back to Zelda and Sheik being the same character. Now, personally, would I prefer if Zelda and Sheik were the same character? I actually would. I don't know why, but I really do. I feel like it would bring more spice to the game, you know, having two characters in one again. But at the same time, we're so comfortable with Sheik not being tied down to Zelda that we kind of don't really... I just don't think the developers and even some people would just be down with that anymore. What I think that should happen is that we should take Sheik out entirely, which I will go into more detail as to why in my other video. But we should take Sheik out entirely and we should just put in Impa. Now, Impa is a character who I never understood why the Zelda franchise has her in so many things. Pretty much every game there's a version of Impa, yet we never talk about Impa. Impa has been there since 64 and she has always been in a Zelda game in some way, shape or form, and I honestly feel like she got the short end of the stick. She sacrifices so much to help Zelda, and then what do? We don't even remember who she is or how she looked like in that game. But Hyrule Warriors brought her in and she was so awesome in that, and that right there just shows easy pickings for her move list, and I don't see why they can't just take Sheik out and put Impa in. And with that out of the way, they can just focus on making Impa more play just like Sheik, which wouldn't even be hard since Impa is a Sheikah and taught Sheik everything she knew back in 64. You know, the only game Sheik was in. But anyway, if they used the Skyward Sword Impa and just, you know, tuned her a little to look or play just like Sheik, it would be almost like a perfect copy and paste, and it would fit with the Impa character because, like I said, she taught Sheik everything she knew. So really there isn't like oh, you just shoehorned this in. It's like, if anything, you know, Sheik got everything from Impa, so this isn't some like, you know, thing that they just copy and pasted like they did Ganon and Captain Falcon. This is like an actual... It would make sense to the Zelda fans is what I'm trying to say. But I feel like Impa would be a really good addition because as it stands, we only have Link, Zelda, and Ganon as the Zelda reps. And rightfully so, I guess, because they're each the Triforce. But at the same time, 3 is pretty small for a series so big. And I guess we have Toon Link if you want to get technical, then we have 4. And if you want to count Sheik, then that's 5. But Sheik is literally just another version of Zelda, the same way Toon Link is just another version of Link. So really, there's no real other reps besides the main 3. I mean, Zelda's Sheik and Link is Toon Link. What are you gonna do? Put Ganon as Ganondorf? Oh boy. Number 2, Rex. Okay. Now, honestly, I'm usually don't care about who's in Smash and who doesn't make it and yada yada yada. I think the only character I was excited for to join Smash was Bayonetta, only because that was my ballot choice. So it's kind of surreal to see that the person I voted for made it. So I guess that's why I was so hyped up when she came out. Besides that, I don't really consider myself to be one of those people like Etika who freak out and throw stuff and scream because Lynn was announced as a assist trophy. But this character, Rex, if he is not in the next Smash Brothers, I don't know who I have to talk to. I don't know who I have to fight. I don't know who I have to meet in a back alley. But if Rex isn't in the next Smash Brothers, I'm going to be highly upset. Rex's game, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which released in December of 2017, was such a beautiful, well done, story-based game. And I could understand why they didn't want to put Xenoblade Chronicles X's Alma in the new Super Smash Brothers as a DLC. Wow, that took me a lot of tries, guys, to say that out loud. But anyway, I could understand why they didn't put her in Super Smash Brothers because Xenoblade Chronicles X, although it was fine, it wasn't a really amazing, outstanding game like the original Xenoblade. And on top of that, none of the characters were really memorable. If they put Elmer in there, I wouldn't be surprised if people were like, who? But with Rex, you literally have a sequel to the main game, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and you have a character with a lot of depth, and you have a character with a lot of move potential, and a character who honestly deserves to be in there as much as Shulk does at this point. Especially because, you know, Xenoblade for the Nintendo Switch, Super Smash Bros. For the Nintendo Switch, you know, it kind of just has to, you know, I mean, it just has to, you know. As to how Pyra and Mithra would work out, I don't really know how that's going to work out, but I'm sure they'll think of something. Worst comes to worst, they'll do a whole Pokemon trainer thing and have her in the background. And I know that sounds lame in 2018, but if you play the game, that's kind of what she does. So it wouldn't even look odd at this point. But who knows? I'm sure they'll think of something, but they need to put him in there. And finally, number 1, Wolf. Okay, so this is the point where I rant. I want to know whose idea was it, whose beautiful, wonderful, amazing idea was it to bring Roy, another Fire Emblem character, when we already had 500 plus Fire Emblem characters, Lucina, when we already had a whole bunch of Fire Emblem characters, Dr. Mario when we already had a whole bunch of Mario characters, and Dark Pit when we, well, just Dark Pit, you know. Because here's Wolf, an actually unique character with a unique moveset. Yes, it was kind of close to Falco and Fox's, but it was different enough to warrant his place in the game. He actually brought something new to the table. His movesets were kind of different. His playstyle was different. Even his smash attacks and everything were different than all the other ones. I don't understand why they decided to put in so many characters who, let's honestly admit, have no business being there, while Wolf was just there to rot. Now I understand not bringing back Pichu, because who wants Pichu? I understand the whole 3DS thing with Ice Climbers. I even understand not bringing back Snake. But the one character who I will never understand why they never brought back was Wolf. Now, it could be because Star Fox just isn't that popular of a series, but I don't think that's fair because you have way more Star Fox games with a lot more characters than something like Kid Icarus, which only had like 2 characters show any type of gameplay protagonist-wise, and you have 3 of them in the series, 2 of which are literally exactly the same, one of which is just you know, she's there. While you have Fox and Falco, who are basically the same characters, but you can't add just Wolf, a character who was already made. It's not like you have to think of a whole new character with a whole new moveset. He was already there. Why he didn't come back, I don't know. Maybe there's some article out there I haven't read yet, but I would never understand the Wolf conundrum. So please, Nintendo, if for some reason you happen to pass by my small, insignificant channel with like 3 subs, please, in the comments, let me know why didn't you bring back Wolf? He was so cool. He had something new to the table. I'll never understand, and I don't think I want to. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed my top 5 characters I want in the new Super Smash Bros. Game. If you agree with me, tell me in the comments how awesome my opinions are. If you think my character choices were god-awful, tell me that too. Tell me who you think should be there in place of my number 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, or just tell me how awful I am as a person. Doesn't matter. Just comment, let me know, start some conversation. And if you want to see more videos, just hit the subscription button, hit the like button. It'll let me know what I'm doing is cool, and I'll keep doing it. And keep in mind that I'm going to do something else kind of similar to this on the top 5 characters I don't want in Smash. And boy, is that one going to be controversial. Alright, so thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.